Hello, good evening. Um, Here is the call of the session um, to answer the questions of the work task 2 magazine. So, um, classmate Steph, read the first question, please.
Okay, I going to read my answer. Question number one. Could the US Air Force have prevented the attacks? Okay, initially the US Air Force could have prevented the attacks, but they didn't have the authorization to send to fires. Also, the FAA informed to NORAD at 8:40 am that Flight American 11 was hijacked. That is to say, the FAA called direct to NORAD, no matter the protocols that they had to do. NORAD reset the mesh minutes before the act of the World Trade Center. Telling NORAD will not do anything in the first two attacks because these were already in speed. Furthermore, the F-15 Eagle fighter left minutes after the attack because they were waiting for two pyramid to take off, but they didn't know that Flight American 11 that they were going search it was crashed. They left with the hope to find the planes. So, question number two: were the Twin Tower delivery demolished by possible? Okay, there is many theories about this because some people said that minutes later of the attacks, inside the building some explosives was heard. Furthermore, when the Twin Towers collapsed, it seems as if it was controlled. Later of everything, people saw found product used to destroy building of the way control. But some investigation indicate that the plane was not enough to destroy the two towers. Even there are sources said that the police and firefighters were informed of everything. After all, investigators found every time more information about this historical event. Um, Question number three. Were some people forewarned about the attacks? It is some hypothesis about this. One of these is that the CIA and FBI had suspicion of a terrorist threat, but they didn't do much because the CIA didn't share all information with the FBI. So those persons that attacked on September 11, they were in United States freely. The FBI was investigating Al Qaeda, but the CIA already knew that the terrorists were planning something. If they had shared the information, possible, very possible, the attack had failed. So, question number four. Was the Pentagon really hit by an airplane? First, the majority of persons said that American Airlines Flight 77 hit the Pentagon because it was flying over that area. The hijacker changed the destination of the plane and collapsed in the Pentagon. But another evidence points that the attack of the Pentagon could have been another thing and not American Airlines Flight 77. Besides, the cameras didn't capture the exact moment of the impact. That place had a camera that used capture the crash but not the plane. Um, Question number 5. Could the attack have been prevented? If North American Aerospace Defense Command would not have waited a long time for the authorization to send the air, sorry, the air fighting Eagle figures, possible that the attack could have been prevented. They had more time with the third attack. They were informed that the planes were kidnapped, but they took a long time to respond. Beside the Major General Larry Aaron, who was in charge of domestic air defense of the day of the attack, said it was physically possible that figured jets could have beaten the civilian airlines to Pentagon had they have been activated early. Question number 6. Mm, was Osama bin Laden really captured and killed? On May 1st, 2011, it was reported that Osama bin Laden was killed during military action. Well, well. Eh, Question number 7. Was 9/11 caused by the American government on purpose? Yes. Is speculation based on scientific evidence about the plane that fell in the Pentagon. Many people said that it wasn't a plane. Also, the buildings were destroyed but of away control, the inexperience of hijackers. So anyway, there are many people accused the American government of the attack. But also it's fact that United States have many enemies. So there is a chain of that it was a terrorist attack. Um, Thank you for attention.
Well, the classmate Andres, is your turn.
Hello, everyone. My answer, the first question is the following. The United States have one of the best air defense systems. Suppose the attack on the Twin Towers took them by surprise. But what is not explained is why they did not react with the airplane that hit the Pentagon. Washington airspace is the most protected. For example, it is known that an aircraft that invades that space and does not identify itself, the order is to shoot it down. How is it possible that so many security protocols have been violated? I think the attack on the Twin Tower was surprising, but they had time to react with the attack on the Pentagon. My answer the second question. Now many people have questioned the official version about what happened on 9/11. For example, there are those who think that the Twin Tower was designed to withstand that type of collision. Its structure was made of reinforced steel, so they were resistant. Some experts say that they would have withstood the fire, but that their structure would not have collapsed. This had led to the belief that the three towers were deliberately demolished by controlled explosives. Some say nanothermites, a material used in explosives that can melt steel, were found at the scene. What must be doubts in that this material is used and studied in the US military. Third question. It is said that there is evidence, for example, that former United States Secretary Condoleezza Rice called the mayor of San Francisco an African American the day before and told him not to travel by airplane for nothing. If this were true, it would indicate that former secretary knew something was going to happen. It is also mentioned that on the day of the attack, many people with important positions did not go to work, but they are just difficult theories to prove. Mm, Question 4. Some people think that American Airlines Flight 77 did not crash into the Pentagon. Instead, they argue that the Pentagon was hit by a missile launched by elements from inside the US government. Some claim that the holes in the Pentagon walls were far too small to have been made by a Boeing. However, the evidence refuting missile claims include airplane debris, including Flight 77's black boxes, the nose cone, landing gear, and airplane tire. An intact cockpit seat were observed at the crash site. The remains of passengers from Flight 77 were indeed found at the Pentagon crash, and their identities confirmed by DNA analysis. Many eyewitnesses saw the plane strike the Pentagon. Further, Flight 77 passenger made phone call reporting that their airplane had been hijacked. Question 5, my answer. Some believe that the United States government already knew what was to have someone contributing to the events because it favored their plans. On the other hand, the official version says that this event occurred unexpectedly, so the government was not prepared to respond. Question 6. Some analysts now for having previously raised alternative explanation for the 9/11 attack have pointed out that the announcement of Bin Laden did is incongruent and the circumstance surrounding it strange. However, the official version is this. On May 1st, 2011, it was reported that Osama bin Laden died during a US military action. Bin Laden's identity was confirmed by comparing preserved DNA sample of her dead sister with DNA from the left body. The body was taken by elements for the U.S. Armed Force after the attack and was in their position. And final question, question 7. Possible motives claimed by conspiracy theorists for such action include justifying the war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq to further their geostrategic interest. However, it is difficult to think that they were willing to pay with so many human lives and affecting their own economy. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Um, Please, classmate Javier, your turn.
Hello, my name is Javier. Um, that is my first answer. According to what the video shows, there were many inconsistencies in all these massive hijackings of aircraft. Security was easily breached. This allowing the entry of terrorists to commercial flights. which is extremely suspicious for a country that considers itself a world power and where safety comes first when it comes to commercial flight and national security. The second answer, that is, these buildings over time have several conspiracy theories, which is why there is a great possibility that the towers have been demolished by something like a controlled implosion, and that is at that building of the size and importance, well built and with the highest quality standards, could not be overthrown as a simple they were. First, because the explosion started from top the bottom. This event, despite being highly dangerous, could not represent a collapse so fast and unison of the towers. It is for this reason is firmly believed that there were explosives involved, so that this event ended is shown. They noted that all these hypotheses had not been fully verified. Third answer, there was a man named John Patrick O'Neill. This man was an FBI agent, and in 1993, he managed to design a plan that they already had articulated against the Twin Towers. He also discovered the future plans of bin Laden and Al Qaeda, to which nobody gave importance, but that they all ignored this information and therefore decided to resign. The fourth answer, the Pentagon was run over in a part of its structure by American Airlines Flight 77, which was the third flight hijacked as a part of the attacks of the September 11, 2001, which was deliberately crashed into this structure, headquarters of the Defense Department from the United States. This plane was hijacked by five jihadist Saudis after 35 minutes of flight. Eh, my five answer. According to the video tutorial, it is a case that has a lot of technical study, and is which there are versions that gain strength by proposing that there were moments and people how promulgate future damage thanks to bin Laden and Al Qaeda, only they were not given the importance necessary. For this, it should be noted that there was a high degree of probability that such a fatality would not occur. My sixth answer, according to official versions, Osama bin Laden was killed in the place where he was hiding from the authorities and by the Holocaust of the Towers. This capture or murder also had many controversies about why he was not captured and later imprisoned, but rather he killed him according to why he resisted, to which they respond to version that say that these terrorists did not offer resistance when he saw that his security cordon had been defeated. My seventh answer, this event moved the world for all the lives that were lost in this tragedy. That is why throughout history multiple versions have been unleashed about what happened, discussing the official version to lose credibility. I think there are many points of this makes us reflect on whether in fact this was a terrorist attack or plain terrorism. Thank you so much.
Okay, very good. Gladys, your turn.
Okay. Hi, partners. My name is Gladys. Taking into account the documentary elaborated by Mazurko by and the personal understanding and interpretation of them. Question one. Yes, for several reasons. On the one hand, the United States air defense is one of the best and most sophisticated in the world. On the other hand, even though the planes involved in the attack were difficult to intercept, they repeatedly changed their radar tracking identification. This only means that the plane kept changing. It didn't disappear. Therefore, all the jacket planes that they could have been tracked. There were too many coincidences that they, for example, too many false alarms which distracted the few available defense planes, sending them to another location so that when the attack was over, they would not be able to reach and prevent the attack. In addition, at the time when the extra planes were requested, emergency, there were none ready, and it took at least 20 minutes for them to take off and become available. To me, it's incredible that on that very day there were only 4 planes available to defend the whole county, plus there were too many active war games. Uh, Question 2. In the video, they don't going to match the title only about the planes. It's worth noting that the pilots were carrying explosives on their waists, according to the calls made from the planes. It is difficult to now since, according to conspiracy theories, the collapse of the towers was not only caused by the damage caused by the crashed plane, but also with the help of the previous installation of explosives. In other words, the damage caused by the plane would not have weakened the towers enough to make them collapse, or at least not without additional energy. It was said that traces of nanothermite would have been found in the rocket, but this information was neither investigated or corroborated. Answer, answer 3. Study the underlying part. First, after the second plane crashed, a military man approached correspondent Jim and told him that this attack had been so well coordinated that if it were Jim, he would stay away from the Pentagon ring all day, because he said, "We are next." How did he know exactly what was going to happen? How did he dare to issue a warning of such magnitude? With it, he decided to tell his correspondent in secret. Did he know about the inside and decide to cover it up? Uh, Question 4. I would like to add my concern to the fact that first the Pentagon was attacked from the site that is because of the way it was attacked minimized the damage more than if that been attacked from above. We did he attack like that? Furthermore, the light or on capacity of the pilot Hanjur to handle this plane and to perform the maneuvers he did. It's very difficult to believe since several very experienced pilots tried to perform these maneuvers in a simulate several times and were unable to do so. On top of this, Hanjur's instructors said that he was unable to fly because of his poor understanding of basic aviation principles and his poor technical skills. Some people say that Hanjur was licensed, but this is we when evaluating his knowledge, it was thought that he was not real. He did not know how to fly at all. He was not able to perform even the most basic exercise on sense 105 by himself. Uh, Question 5. Yes, since many people were present some time before and also had time to write. Question 6. The video doesn't go into much detail about this, but doing my own research, Osama was not captured, but died during a 40-minute night raid. Question 7. No, it was a plot, a new Pearl Harbor, because it was said that it was not possible to imagine the fact that the American officers themselves were capable of attacking their country such a way. Thank you for your attention, my partners.
Very good, Gladys.
Thank you, compadre.
Gladys.
So it's my turn.
Tefi. No, Melissa.
Yo,
Continue.
question number 1. Could the U.S. Air Force have prevented the attacks? No. After the attacks of the Air Force of the Empire of Japan towards the naval military base of the United States, killing almost all the navigators, not without having made an SOS call of the United States Air Force sent by one of the survivors and getting to shoot at the Japanese. The United States did not balance the attacks despite being warned. Question number 2. Were the Twin Towers deliberately demolished by explosives? Yes. According to the news media, and the images presented were destroyed by the impact of commercial planes, it is presumed that the United States government demolished the towers of purpose of to invade the territory of Saudi Arabia. Question number 3. Were some people forewarned about the attacks? No, there, there are not records of anyone of any terrorist cell attacking. Question number 4. Was the Pentagon really hit by an airplane? No, according to the images, a plane was heading for the Pentagon, by, but the Air Force planes shot it down and it did not hit. Question number 5. Could the attacks have been prevented? Yes, the United States has government agencies and espionage agencies that handle all kinds of information. And it also has very advanced technological means. Question number 6. Was Osama bin Laden really captured and killed? It is not known for sure. The media showed a body, but there is no evidence that it was Osama bin Laden. And the last question. So 7 was 9/12 accused by the American government of purpose. It is presumed that it was a self-attack by the United States to be able to invade Saudi Arabia and seize its oil. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good job.
Excellent, partner.